All right, let's talk about the Knicks. Obviously, you're very high on Kevin Knox. Let's talk about the Knicks and Kevin Knox. Obviously,
the Knicks should try to lose every single motherfucking game and let Kevin Knox shoot.
The X factor for me for the Knicks, if we want to talk about, is the development of their point guard, Frank. Yeah.
Also, real quick, a lot of New York guys are high on Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson apparently was, I think,
he was great.
Yeah,
he was great.
He ended up going to Western Kentucky or something weird.
I'm very high on him. Yeah, no, he was supposed to go to college.
Yeah, and I don't like some weird happening.
There's barely any tape on him. He's got the girth. He's got the size. He's going to be a very interesting guy to watch. I think the Knicks, they're starting to change around the culture. I think this season they've really changed a different direction. I think Hornacek's a great dude. He just wasn't the right coach for that team.
Yeah.
I think that they got a really good coach and a players coach that they got. Now the guy from Fizz from Memphis before, and obviously Spoelstra's assistant in Miami. I think Fizz is going to be really good for that team. I think he's learned a lot of lessons for how he handled the Marcus Gasol thing in Memphis, so he's going to know how to handle Porzingis. I think Porzingis' versatility and spacing is really going to. I think he'll recover, barring his recovery from his injuries. I think he's really going to help Kevin Knox because all the pressure is going to allow Kevin Knox to flourish, to find his role. He's not going to be any restricted. He's going to shoot. He's going to get to the hole. I think Frank at that point guard position, to me, is the most crucial thing for that team for where they can finish. I think they can borderline for an 8th or 7th seed, compete for that, but that's only going to be if Frank could be as high as the Knicks were in drafting him and developing that play. If he can't be that player, if he's going to be mid-level, if he's going to be middle of the line point guard, I'm talking about the only way the Knicks are going to be there is if Frank plays like one of the better point guards in the Eastern Conference. So there's not as many good point guards in the Eastern Conference as the Western Conference. 20 games?
Yeah, 20. Unless Porzingis comes back. And
I'm telling you right now, the Knicks will win more games than the Nets. I will bet on that.
One, I don't think Porzingis is going to play this year. Second, I think they should lose. Do you see the draft class? Lose.
They got a great player in the draft class. Everyone's so mad that they didn't get
Zion Williamson is
you got Zion, you got RJ Barrett, got in the lose.
I love RJ Barrett and I love Zion Williamson. But my fear with Zion Williamson is he's an athletic freak among the competition, among the high school competition, maybe among the college competition.
Among the NBA competition.
Do you know
about the gym like him?
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
He's not playing against guys that are as athletically gifted as him. I think it reminds me a lot, and I hope I'm proven wrong. There's one guy who played that way too.
Don't do this to me. Go ahead.
Shabazz Muhammad.
Come on, G.
Come on. He wasn't that.
Shabazz won Zion Williamson. Shabazz
in high school? Did you watch Shabazz in high school?
He was Zion Williamson.
He was also like 20. In high school, he was also like 20.
Shabazz Muhammad, the guy that's in the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Shabazz was hard in high school though. Nah, Shabazz was hard.
Shabazz, when he went to UCLA, can I talk about Shabazz Williamson? Zion Williamson's amazing. He's the real deal. I'm not denying that. But let me say this about Shabazz. He was a man amongst boys in high school. He was athletically jumping people out of the gym. Okay, he was jumping people out of the gym. As he got older at UCLA, he was such a disappointment and letdown. He was still drafted high. He's never panned out in the NBA, but he's proving his own. He's proving to be a serviceable NBA player, not a guy who jumps around to D-League or whatever. He's proven that he can hold his own, but he was never been able to be a star like he was, a superstar like he was in high school, and develop that. I'm not saying Zion Williamson won't, but I'm saying all he's proven to this point is what Shabazz Muhammad had proven to that point.
That's the first time I've ever heard that comparison, so I have no other
That's fine. You're talking to a guy who's...
I have no other time than to... I have no other option than to take your word on it, because I've never heard anybody compare Zion Williamson to Shabazz Muhammad.
Now here's a huge difference.
Everything else but Shabazz Muhammad.
But here's a huge difference.
You could have told me Muhammad Ali,
if you're to tell me my favorite team, if you're to tell me my favorite team to win the national championship this season is Duke. They are so loaded. This team, they could have 3 to 4 guys that are drafted in the first round. In the NBA,
they got 2 guys that are low key. They got 2 guys that can go top 5.
2 guys for sure that are locks. I think are lottery.
Yeah,
maybe 3. Yeah. Now let me say this: these guys at Duke are so talented. Shabazz Muhammad at UCLA didn't have the talent. Obviously, he was playing immense. I think First of all, let me make it clear to the audience here and to you guys too. I like the shades. I like glasses.
Shout out to iDope, Pavy's uncle. He makes amazing shades. They're called iDope, EYEDOPE.
If he makes them in yellow and does aviators, we can wear some different Schmo glasses.
I guess you should talk to him about it.
We're talking about it right now. We'll talk later off time. But let me say this though. I think that he's playing in a better situation. I think that Zion Williamson will for sure be a better NBA player than Shabazz Muhammad. Only thing is, to this point, all he's proven is Shabazz Muhammad. I don't know if he's going to live up to the hype of what he's laid in high school, and that's my comparison to Shabazz Muhammad. I don't think he's going to live up to the hype as an NBA player, as he is in college or whatever. I think he could be an all-star at best, but I don't think he's going to be Hall of Fame talent. I don't think so.
I see him do things off the dribble that I didn't think that he could do off the dribble because I was so used to seeing him do dunks, and when he just pull up off the dribble and swishes it, I'm like, all right.
I think he's just not. He's athletically so much better than the competition.
He's got to lose.
I don't think he's going to exactly. I think his weight is always going to be an issue, like it was for Charles Barkley, until he completely gets his body committed to being just a freaking freak. Which Julius Randle, I think the same thing with him, and I think he's starting to figure that out. I think Julius Randle's going to flourish in New Orleans this season.
I agree.
And I think it's such a better situation for him. He's going to flourish with Anthony Davis. He's going to have the best career numbers he's ever had in his career. New Orleans is a playoff team, by the way.
So if you're the Knicks, you don't take a chance on Zion Williamson because you have Kevin Knox and Porzingis? Or
I never said you don't take a chance.
No,
but why don't?
No, I'm asking you.
I don't hinder the development of a Kevin Knox and even a Porzingis who's still relatively young in his NBA career to think that you could potentially, hypothetically, with ping pong balls, get Zion Williamson.
Everybody has a lot of faith in Kevin Knox. I'm just not sold.
Did you? The Suns had a lot of faith in Devin Booker. I'd have just as much faith if I was the Knicks.
I also just told you earlier that I'm not that sold on Devin Booker.
The thing about KP for me is
I gotta see him win.
I've never seen.
I got to see the Suns put some assets around him. I love what I'm going to see in development wise.
We'll see
the thing about KP for me is I've never seen a 7-footer come back from a torn ACL.
With who?
Somebody as big as KP come back from a torn ACL. Also,
I'd rather see the ACL than the Achilles. Of course. Cousins.
Also, the way he lands is still going to be an issue. He tore it because he lands terribly every time he dunks.
He's becoming a better athlete, and I think every player that goes through injury in today's modern medicine and technology and innovation, I think just being around these guys and watching performance enhancement naturally through science, physics, training, these guys are able to recover faster. Gosh, even chirotherapy, just the ways we're able to recover our body. Yeah. The Nobedek, all these different things these athletes use. Just putting this stuff on these guys. CBD oil, 100% natural, no THC, rubbing that stuff on you. The herbal medication overall, just the stimulations, the physical therapy, the knowledge we have, knowledge is power. These athletes are able to recover. They're able to be bigger, faster, stronger, compete. I never am going to sit here and make the argument they're better basketball players, but they're certainly better athletes.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not upset with that. But all right, over-under for the Knicks, 35 games.
Under.
I'm going under. I hope they win 20.
The Schmo's going to push and say 35.